So this is going to be a little different than my typical sermons. This is going to be less scripted and really just telling you a story about something that happened in my life that impacted me very much, and I thought it might impact all of you too. So rituals. Rituals are a significant part of our experience. And I think most of us may not even realize how big a part it is. I know I didn't. At least I didn't until I went to seminary and they started to teach us about rituals, which I reluctantly had to study. And because I was not aware at that time that creating services is really and primarily about ritual. But rituals are part of our life in every way. This year, we got very clear on a ritual we had to stop doing, which is shaking hands. But waving goodbye is a ritual. Every holiday includes a ritual or rituals. From songs to fireworks to greeting cards to giving and receiving gifts. And all different alternatives of ritual are experienced in a holiday. Obviously, lighting our menorah today, or bringing in a Christmas tree, which was originally, I think, a European ritual that was pagan, of bringing in nature into the house when that was starting to become distant in the winter months. Our lives would be mundane without rituals. But every now and then, it doesn't hurt to rethink them, because all our rituals are things that we've learned from other people, maybe people that came before us, parents, elders, or just our society. So when we rethink rituals, we have an opportunity to really look at whether or not they're serving us anymore, or maybe there's something we might like to add to a ritual. So I had that opportunity to rethink rituals when I turned 60 4 years ago. And this is the story. So I was asked at this poignant age by my friends and family and partner at the time, hey, what would you like to do? You want to have a party? You want to take a trip? This and that? What kind of gifts? The story that most of us are blessed with if we have a community. And I really sat with it and thought about it. And during those years of my life specifically, I had started to get involved with street ministry. And I've had the honor to work with folks that were experiencing homelessness. So the idea came to me, maybe I could do something different. And so what was done is I invited my friends and family to do a different kind of celebration. And I asked them all to help me give back what came so easily to me in my lifetime and readily, and that is food, warmth, and love. So I called this event Sharing the Love. And my hope was to give out 60 backpacks to folks experiencing homelessness in New York City. And so I had received a list from organizations I was working with that were essentials, or the best things that would be helpful to people that might be on the street. And I created an Amazon wish list and added it to this email and just shot it out to basically everybody I knew. If I had your email and you were connected in my life, you got this invitation. And I crossed my fingers and said, maybe I'll get some of this stuff. Maybe we could give out a few, see what happens. And so I did it. And off we went with this. I went with this email, and the response was beyond my wildest dreams. Boxes started to appear on my front steps. Of course, there was a direction where to ship these things and a date that I needed it all by. And I'd come home from work every day, and there would be piles of boxes, one on top of another, sometimes as high as me. And what was on this wish list? Well, these are just some of the things. There's so many. Backpacks, socks, underwear, thermal underwear, gloves, hats, scarves, rain ponchos, shaving goods, every kind of toiletries, shampoo, cream rinse, oral care, all the kinds of things that you would need for oral care, hand warmers, power bars, chapsticks, gift cards. We also asked for if anybody wanted to write blessings or prayers or give good positive wishes to people. And they appeared one after another. And it was an experience of one moment of grace after another. And I wanted to share with you some of these miracle moments that happened in the process. So now these boxes didn't just come from around, these shipments didn't just come from around here. Things came from all different places in the United States, and one actually came from New Zealand. So it was really surprising to me how much people wanted to give. I happened to go to my dentist around that time, and he knows I'm a minister and he's a devout Catholic. And he said, "Hey, what's going on?" And I said, "Oh, it's my birthday and this is what I'm doing." And he said, "Say no more. I'll take care of all the oral care. I'll order everything you want, just for toothbrushes, mouthwash, toothpaste, floss, all of it," which was so generous. And then after I received all of these donations from him, in my mail, I received a check for $260. $260. And then I approached him when I saw him next time. I had thanked him by email, but I saw him in person and said, his name is Dr. Nicholas Vero, and he's in Teaneck, if anybody needs a great dentist. He said, I said, why such a generous gift? And he said, to me, the greatest sin, and he's a devout Catholic, is not to give when somebody asks, and not to give for those that need. And he filled up with tears. And I was just so moved, especially when you receive these donations from the last people you expect, Then another moment happened at my job. One of my colleagues had gone out to lunch, and she had I don't even know if she had heard about this giving event, but somebody came up to her on her lunch hour that she said looked like me, and handed her a heart shaped like a stone, a stone shaped like a heart, and said to her, "You are loved." And she came back, she's an artist, and wrote on my tablet on a piece of paper, "You are loved," and left it there. And it started a conversation. And another person saw this and ordered 60 stone hearts like this, and cords, and put the hearts on these cords, and then wrote on envelopes, "You are loved," for every backpack that would be given out, that we would be able to give this out as well. And then, which was extraordinary. And then Jessica Mahadi, who is a wonderful photographer that works with us, had heard about what's going on. And she said, "Hey, maybe I could come along and document this so that you can inspire other people to do it." And she did. And I'd like to play the video for you now, and then we'll come back and talk a little more. Were you able to see it? Yeah, good. So it happened. That was Sunday, December 18th, 2017. And we were able to give out the 60 bags, and they were filled to the brim with everything that we wanted. And we went from the steps of St. Mary's Church at Times Square to the outtake area of a men's shelter on the FDR Drive to Penn Station. And the thing that really was the most impactful was those hearts, which was pretty amazing. You know, the bags meant a lot to people, but when we handed people the hearts and in the envelope and said, you know, just if there's a moment where you doubt feeling loved, you can use this to remember, to remind you. It was extraordinary. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the takeaways from this event. So here's the takeaways. It's amazing how generous people are. People just really do want to help each other. And people just sometimes just need a nudge or a suggestion, because most of the time people will say yes, even if they don't have a lot of means. The other takeaway is, what if? What if we start thinking about how we do things to serve more than just ourselves? Something like this. You know, one of the things I think is amazing right now is that since then, which was 4 years ago, Facebook now has a button you can add to your page that will invite people to donate to whatever organization you'd like, whatever charity, automatically. This is becoming a little bit more part of our society. But my question is as we create our new normal of the world that we are recreating now post COVID, which we pray will be this year, maybe things like this can be. And it could be different forms. We don't have to necessarily be in touch with people and folks in the street, but, you know, of course, any kind of giving event that could be attached to our lives could really impact other people. And it could be a new ritual. Another thought that comes to mind is the scripture Matthew 6:3 that says, but when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. I'd like to challenge that a little bit, because we as human beings are constantly being inspired by each other. You know, if we are on social media, we know for sure what our friends had for dinner last night and what sporting event they might have gone to, or what party they went to. But if we make it clear to people when we have these kinds of opportunities, and we do it, but if it's done more in our world, it'll impact people more in our world. I'd like to give kudos to Susan Feltman, who did what she did for St. Cecilia's this last year. This is very much in alignment to the suggestion of what I'm talking about here. I mean, she not only did a drive, but she invited everybody in her neighborhood. She got the drive happening. She planted seeds. She brought a community into it. And she then posted it on social media to inspire other people to do so. Different ways that we can, you know, we can make something go viral. The other thing I wanted to talk about is that we don't have to necessarily wait for a celebration like a birthday to do this sort of thing. The thing that I had learned from that event is that there were a few things that were the most important parts of it. And I create little go bags that I carry with me whenever I'm going to be in a neighborhood where I feel like I might have the opportunity to connect with some folks and be blessed by an opportunity to share and offer to others. So in those bags, there's 4 things that I carry in those bags. I always carry a Dunkin' Donuts card. So that allows people, especially in the cool weather, to be able to go somewhere where they can get food, use a restroom, rest and find shelter and wash up if they need to. So that is a very useful thing. I always, in anything I give out, I include something that we often call a street sheet. This is from an organization called Breaking Ground, and it shows people where they could go to get shelter and support in all different ways. And I thought this was a great idea, since I can't see that well anymore, was to buy dollar glasses in the dollar store and to add that to this little bag. So in these little bags, I carry a Dunkin' Donuts card, glasses, and a "You Are Loved," because that seemed to make a big difference for people. So these are my 4 giveaways that I just keep in my car and with me. And the final thing I wanted to talk about is really the core of this all, is that we all long for connection. It's part of the thread of being human. It's why we're probably part of this congregation and this community. And it's not just connection that we long for, but the thing that pulls us at our hearts is unconditional connection. We hear the words unconditional love a lot, and that's kind of hard to wrap our brains around. But the moments that we get to be in connection with others without expecting anything from it, there is true grace. There is a true gift in there. So as we close this talk today, I invite us all to continue to be vessels of compassion and unconditional connection on this planet. May it be so.
Please click on the subscribe button and then click on the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video.